Hello there, Sir from 17 once again, introducing you to my Rage Nightmare difficulty video walkthrough. This is mission 11, and we will be getting some miscellaneous tasks done and resupplying a Watchtower. So now that I'm driving away from the doctor's vicinity, we are back out into the Wasteland, into the bullshit of all the dudes trying to shoot you every time you try and drive through it, which gets old pretty quickly, especially when you don't have the best car or the best upgrades on your car. But you'll be making this drive quite a lot when you play through this section of the game. That right there was a perfectly placed RC car bomb thing that the powder gangers, or whatever they're called on this game, I think they're the Shrouded Gang. They formulate those machines, they create them, and they are all primarily explosives that they use. And that right there is because I haven't done the mission for the sheriff, I believe. And he sends you into their gang to blow up some bomb caches, and as soon as you do that, it stops them from attacking you on the road. But as you saw, they don't do a lot of damage, but they are a bit of a nuisance, so you've just got to be aware of that. But every time I come in this room and I see those books, it always makes me want to pick them up, because you can get a lot of money for the books and when you sell them on this game, if you can find them. And it's not like you can read what they've got to say or anything, it's just a case of they've got interesting titles and they sell for a lot of money. But there is the experience for the Feltrite sample that we got on the last video, and I do believe this is going to be the last mission with the mayor at this moment in time, because I don't think he gives you anything more. And he pretty much tells you to go and talk to the sheriff, because Sheriff Black is the guy that's got the rest of the shit that we need to mop up on. I come into the second chance bar, or whatever the hell it's called, talk to Sally, see if she'll give me any money for the bandits I've killed. She gives me some race certificates and 10 Dara, so not exactly the most fortuitous of ventures, but it's done. And I'm probably going to go to the outfitters, because I always go to this guy, even when I've got no money. I'm conditioned to check the shop, because I was under the inclination that there were going to be a lot more upgrades and a lot more things to buy, and the more frequently you went to the shop, the more they would turn up, you know, as you progress through the game. That doesn't really seem to be the case, because there is nowhere near the amount of depth in this game that I thought there was going to be. And that is the most disappointing part about it for me personally. So what am I looking at here? We're looking at the mutant adrenal glands, and I'm selling stuff, so I don't know what that's for, because I don't have the recipe yet, so I think balls to it, I'm going to sell it to get some coin. I've got a lot grinder there that you can sell for a lot of money, and I do believe there's a money glitch trick that you can do where you keep making those lot grinders and selling them to increase your profit. But I was never really at a loss for money when I played this game properly. This is obviously a walkthrough on how to get through the game very quickly, and because of that I do suffer due to time restraints, because I'm trying to do everything as swift as possible and show you the easiest way through it with the least amount of time needed. So I'm not going to have the same amount of ammunition that you're probably going to have. I'm not going to have the same amount of money or upgrades that you're probably going to have, because I am doing the bare essentials. And I buy a lot of buckshot, because buckshot is super important. And as I mentioned, rockets, is that $75 for the rockets of your rocket launcher? That could be worth picking up, because the rocket launcher on this game is very powerful, and if you have the money to keep giving it ammo, you will have no trouble from anything, because it almost insta-kills all normal standard enemies, and people with armor take 1 to 2 rockets, the heavies can take about 2 to 3, but aside from that, you're a walking tank with it, and it's very, very cheap, all considered. So it's well worth looking into. And that's the biggest thing with Rage. There are a lot of ways to play it. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day when we were out having a drink, and he didn't even use the pulse cannon at the end of the game. He never used it, never needed to. And at the end of this walkthrough, I'm going to use nothing but that gun, because what will happen is, I've mentioned on a previous video, you get given a really good gun on the very last area of the game. And the funny part about it is, the last area is so full of ammunition for this weapon, you do not need any other gun. You can literally just use that gun and get what you like. It's ridiculously powerful. And I think this is the moment where I buy armor for my car, and it completely fully heals me, and you'll notice I'm not on fire anymore. So there I go, I use some of the racing tickets to buy some armor for my Caprino, and that stops me from getting tossed about as much as I was before, which is quite nice. But up here is the sheriff's office, good old Sheriff Black. And here is going to be the next mission, and this is a very easy and a very quick mission. All we're going to be doing is driving into, I think it's the Northern Territory, somewhere along those lines, heading up to this one dude, giving him something and driving all the way back. The only threat on this area is bandits on the road, and that aside, it's just a driving mission, so there is no strategy to be talked about whatsoever. So instead, I'm talking about Batman Arkham City. So the reviews are just in. It's getting 9s, it's getting 9.3s, it's getting 9.5s, it's getting 5 out of 5s. It is getting some ridiculously high scores, and everything they say about it just makes me even more excited to get my hands on it, because I absolutely loved Arkham Asylum. And I've got a couple of friends who feel the exact same way, but I've also got a couple of friends who thought it was very average and there was nothing that stood out about it. So these last few days, because Arkham City's coming so close to its release date, we've been doing nothing but shit talk each other and having silly arguments. How the hell can you not appreciate Arkham Asylum, and how the hell can you think Arkham Asylum is good, type of thing, and just shit talking with your buddies. And it's been a lot of fun, but all it's done is fed my hunger for Arkham City, and I cannot wait for this game. I can't even describe how much I'm excited about it, because I've been a Batman fan ever since I was a little kid. I used to dress up like the guy, for Christ's sake. I used to draw him. Everything about Batman, I loved it. Loved it all, and I still do, because there's just something about the guy that's just awesome. And Arkham Asylum was everything I could have ever wanted from a superhero game, because every one before it, aside from the X-Men Wolverine Origin one, which was really, really fun and a good game, everyone before that was a big old pile of shit, aside from maybe some Mega Drive ones that were only fun because the mechanics were so damn simple. But, God, Arkham Asylum, just everything about it was polished, it was sublime, and it was fun as hell, and it was also the type of action game that I get into, because it had a deep and rewarding combat system that relied more on reflex than on button bashing, which is exactly what I prefer, because I hate any combat game where you can just win by bashing buttons. That's why I like Devil May Cry, that's why I like Ninja Gaiden and stuff like that, things that take strategy, even though at first it's not always immediately clear, but if you get into it and you learn the nuances, it's really rewarding. And secondly, I can't wait to do it, because I'm going to be doing a guide for it, and I'm really excited to get that up, because all these new games coming out is bringing a hell of a lot of traffic to my channel. I've just beat my first milestone on YouTube, and hopefully it will just be, keep on building from here. And October is a little empty as far as a lot of things. There's Arkham City, which is going to be awesome. Then there's Battlefield 3, but I'm not all that stoked for Battlefield 3 because I didn't enjoy the beta. I'm still going to be doing a guide for it, and hopefully a lot of people are going to be interested in that, so that will help me. But it's November where everything really starts, because Modern Warfare 3 is going to be huge. Regardless of if you're not interested in it, if you're a Battlefield fan instead and you think Modern Warfares are overrated, or if you're just getting sick of Call of Duty, because there has been a lot of them, you can't deny what Modern Warfare 3 is going to do, and what Modern Warfare 3 is going to do for people's YouTube channels, because a lot of the big YouTubers got in at the right times when these new games came out and it all blew up. Modern Warfare 2 was a catalyst for a lot of channels, and I'm hoping that Modern Warfare 3 is going to be very similar for others, and it's almost indefinitely going to be. So I can't wait to get that guide up, because I will be doing guides before I do multiplayer, because it's just how I function. I don't even touch the multiplayer in the first few days. And I know there's probably a bunch of people thinking I'm absolutely psycho for saying that, but I'm a single player gamer at heart. Multiplayer is just trifle for me, but you will be getting a shit ton of commentaries from that game, because that's what people are going to be hungry for, and hopefully that's going to help me build and grow. And I just can't wait for it. October, November are going to be interesting months, but as always guys, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and you take care now.